Who will be the dominant player of the 2020s? So Luka, Steph,
Ja
Durant.
Morant. Ja Morant.
Over Luka?
Ja Morant.
Over Jokic?
Am I
What
saying,
about Giannis?
Am I saying
Giannis.
it? Am I saying it ghetto enough? Ja Morant. Yo, Ja Morant. No, Ja Morant.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life I've been grinding all my life.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Club Shay Shay. I am your host, Shannon Sharpe. I'm also the proprietor of Club Shay Shay, and the guy that's stopping by for conversation and a drink today is a four-time NBA champion. He's an actor, producer, talk show host, entrepreneur, philanthropist. He's the first player in NBA history to win a championship with three different franchises and the first player to win a championship in 3 different decades. He needs no introduction. John Salley.
I told them you can read. Give me my $100. They said Shannon can't read. I wrote all that down, and you prove you can read.
Yeah, see, they put it on the card. They didn't put it in prompter for me. Salley, how you doing today, bro?
All right, man. I'm finally on Club Shay Shay. This is amazing. And you know, I brought you something.
You did?
Because this right here is Tycoon Cognac. This is the VS.
We got
That's very special.
very special.
And I bought it because I know you have yours, but my man E40 makes this.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
this is, and me supporting
So I,
Black
you know what?
entrepreneurs.
I'm gonna give you a couple bottles, and I want you to support me like you support 40 Water.
I definitely would do it. So I'm going on Drink Champs, and I'm
Okay.
only bringing brown. I'm only bringing brown. Oh, this?
That's me right there. Yeah.
Oh, this you?
Yes.
Well, I'm only bringing brown, and it only had to be from brown.
Check this out. Actually, we won the SIP Award, which is the best tasting cognac in 2022. It's a blind test award. It's the only thing that's not industry. So it's a blind test. You line up the cognacs, and the people say, well, I like this one the best, and we beat a bunch of them.
Okay.
We beat I'm not gonna tell you who all we beat, but all the ones that you think are good, we beat them.
Listen, my boy Glenn Daniels, Carl Collins, they had me set up on all the spirits, and then I did Whiskey Advocate.
Right.
Because they're experts and they tell me what I like.
Right.
I'm gonna take this bottle.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave this E40 bottle
Okay.
for you. And everybody that's brown, that sells brown, I get down.
That's all I mean.
All right, let's go. Salud.
Appreciate you.
That is dope, bro. that I'm not even joking. That is dope. Ooh. Yeah, I need 2 bottles just in case.
All right. What's a typical day for John Salley? What time do you get up? What do you do throughout the day? What time you lights out?
Well, my sleep pattern is different. I've been stretching more.
Okay.
I was with my boy ISO Joe.
Okay.
I did
Yeah.
some
Man,
hot
I
yoga.
saw him the other day. Whoo, man, ISO.
Yeah, he cut
He
up.
tried to get back in the league?
Well, he did last year.
Okay.
He was on the Celtics. Don't make me make jokes.
Okay.
So, so I did that, and my
Right.
wife is a Pilates instructor. I won't work out with her because she's crazy, and she's really good at it. But I drink about 1 liter of water with a little bit of baking soda, a little bit of Celtic sea salt.
What the hell did baking soda do?
So when you have water,
Yes.
first thing, when you have anything with ice in it,
Right.
your body won't absorb it.
Why?
Too cold for your body.
Okay.
Second thing, when you put the baking soda and the sea salt, the sea salt has about 88, 85 minerals you should have every day, but we don't get.
Right.
So I make sure the water becomes whatever touches it. So now water becomes minerals, and that helps my kidneys. It
Okay.
helps move things out of my liver. It helps my lower intestine. It helps my body absorb.
So you drinking everything at room temperature. Baking
Everything.
soda,
Yeah.
sea salt, a little bit. How much? Teaspoon, tablespoon?
Half a teaspoon, with the baking soda and a whole liter, and about a couple of pinches of sea salt.
Okay.
Sometimes I put the sea salt in my mouth and I swish it around with some coconut oil, and I spit it. Like my dog thinks I'm crazy.
I'm thinking that too.
I know, but I'm gonna get some sativa and I'm gonna take a bong rip because I have to start the day off in a haze.
This man talking about cleansing his body. He talking about sea salt, baking soda, water at room temperature, stevia. Yeah.
I got a blessed job. No, I got a cannabis company with my daughter.
Right.
Called Deuces 22 with my daughter Tyler. So we have great products. So I always have to give my company a boost.
Okay. You're the first player to win a championship with 3 different teams.
Yeah.
At the time, did you know?
How good I was? Yeah.
So what was the significance of that to you?
This is the deal. Everything is good vibe.
Right.
You on Baltimore, that's vibe.
Right.
You got some, they athletes.
Right.
But you know what the difference is when there's dogs everywhere.
Right.
And they all bark the same bark. And you don't have to wonder if you slip, if that is not gonna be there.
Right.
If somebody beat me, which never happened, I didn't, if Dennis is right here, Bill Lambier's about to put you on your back. You're not, there's no free to the basket.
Right.
So I never had to worry about Big Horn, my big brother. I didn't have to worry about, somebody not even being there. So it's that mentality. I do this winning thing. I believe in this one breath. I believe, it's talent. And I tell you, I watch you every day. I love what you do. You're great at it. Stop talking to the peasants.
Social media. That's what you're talking about. You don't respond to anybody. You don't respond to anybody on Twitter. Anybody in IG.
No, I don't. Nobody in the audience.
Why?
Because those are called hecklers. So if you're doing comedy or you're on stage and somebody heckles you and you respond to the heckle, he's the show. That's not the show. You're the show.
You don't.
They don't have a microphone.
You don't want to put it. You don't want to put him on. Put that spotlight on him. Like,
no, that means that I'm taking the light off of me. Let me tell you, one of my favorite preachers named Reverend Ike. Reverend Ike said the light's within you. He didn't care about this naysayers. He explained why he believed that God is within.
Right.
He didn't say you're wrong. He just explained himself.
Did you guys fight? Did your team? Because we're gonna talk about Draymond about punching Jordan Poole in the eye, since tempers flared, whatever happened. Did you guys fight amongst yourselves? They said because.
Nobody, Shannon, is going to beat you up worse than Rick Mahorn. So, I remember one time, Isaiah got in a fight with Tony Campbell, and they were throwing, and Tony threw one at his head, and Isaiah ducked. He said, "Hey man, don't hit me in the face. It's a body fight." Tony looked at me.
Where they do that at?
I don't know. But then I remember one time, basketball players fight like this. Yo, man. That's how basketball players fight, backing up, right? Mark Aguirre don't fight like that. Mark Aguirre, he was up in there like...
Mark from West Side Chicago.
Whew, Mark was in there like Joe Frazier in that joint, and I was like, oh, don't mess with him. Bill Lambert did me dirty, man. He grabbed my jersey like I was in soccer, like I was in hockey. He pulled that jersey over my head. He was like, young fella. I laugh about it to this day. I was like, boy, I let him get the jersey over my head.
But so when you guys, okay, you fought amongst yourselves. I guess that brought you guys closer.
Yeah.
But when you stepped on the court, ain't nobody messing with us.
Dude, and I'm telling you, to the point where it transpired, when you put on the jersey, all of a sudden you got the feeling. And I can tell you that my boy Darryl Walker, D. Walker from Chicago, when Karl Malone clocked Isaiah in the head,
he opened that.
Darryl Walker ran from the far bench all the way down and hit Karl. All the way from the bench, on the court, full speed, like I'm from this side of Chicago, and hit him. So that mentality, Rick Mahorn, I remember they came at Rick.
But they
have to get in.
Yeah, but they were scared of Rick.
Yeah, we should be. Rick, when I was a rookie, man, him and Sid Green got in a fight, and we teammates, man, hit me in the jaw, kicked me in the knee. Looking down, when grown folks are fighting, you be quiet, huh?
What if you guys would have had Oakley on your team? So it'd have been you, Mahorn, Oak, Lambier, you, Rodman.
So Oakley doesn't talk.
No.
Dennis doesn't talk. Joe Dumas doesn't. They don't talk.
Right.
And I know people are like, what are you talking about? I used to say to Joe that I can go and he'll hear me because he don't talk. He just read lips. So those three on a squad which had talkers like me, Rick, Bill, and Isaiah, it would have fit in. I just don't know. There's been no room for him because that means he would have been taking some of my minutes or some of Bill's minutes or some of Rick's. That's what we were fighting in practice for. So, no, he wouldn't have been good on our squad.
The 80, what was 80? Because I think a lot of this generation, I mean, you can watch highlights on YouTube and things like that. But what was the 80s, what was the physicality like in 80s basketball? Try to compare it, because you played in the 2000s. Obviously, Commissioner Stern has
say it again, let them know.
You played in the 2000s because obviously they were trying to get away from that brand of basketball. But the physicality in the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s when you ended.
Okay, I was going to show you the back of my head, but I had a pimple, and my daughter said, look. So it's the night before the All-Star game. It's February 1987. I can smell Atlanta from Detroit. I can't wait till my 7 o'clock flight. But I got a game the night before.
Okay.
Playing against San Antonio and this artist Gilmore. And I pump faked him. And this giant lean. And I was like, oh, I got him. And he elbowed me in the head. And I hit the ground. And I'm telling you, the room was spinning. I heard that before, but I was like, whoa. And Vinny was like, come on, Sal, get up, man. Don't let him see you hurt. I was like, I'm hurt. Like,
don't
let them see it. What am I supposed to do? Jump in a tent? I'm hurt. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't play for Miami. I'm hurt. Y'all get that joke later. Anyway, I get on the foul line, and I'm telling you, I'm like, oh man, I want to vomit right now. And I don't know, never had a concussion or knew what it was.
Right.
And then they tell me I have a concussion and I can't go to sleep the whole night before. But Artist Gilmore hit me, and there was nothing I can do about it. It's like, you put your hands up and you're like, just let me go, man. Just let me go. He was so big, and I mean, guys like Maurice Lucas was trying to break my elbow. It felt like it was like a wrestling match.
Y'all really had, they had the old school enforcers back then. They really had the enforcers back then.
And the refs understood that was his job.
Right.
They were so old that they would come to training camp to get in shape. And he's like, I'm down to 5 cigarettes a day. You know what I'm saying? They were smoking cigarettes and drinking cognacs and putting it out and then going and playing for 42 minutes. Kind of like you and I. I was going to bring you a cigar too. Because
I know you're a big cigar guy.
Yeah, I was going to bring you a Padron Anniversario. I was going to hook you.
Well, pass that on to CJ.
Hey, CJ, I hook you up. Only one, though. They $20 a stick.
There have been, since you won 3 championships with 3 different teams, there have been several guys. Robert Ory's done it, and LeBron has done it, and I think somebody else has done it.
I think Green.
Danny Green. Danny Green.
Yeah. I always know the guys that come behind me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I turn around and go, this is the one thing I love. Somebody said to me, man, if you would have played different, you would have been you could have been an all-star. And I said, dog, I'm a champion. And I trailblaze. Like I do things, and I do things until anybody behind me can say this can be done.
Right.
I'm a 7-footer that did 17 movies.
Right.
I'm a 7-footer that did TV shows, that stand-up comedy, that host. You know what I'm saying? I've done all the things that.
So in other words, you said what I did was bigger than basketball.
Way. Like Muhammad Ali.
Was more than a boxer.
We're going to get in trouble for this, and y'all probably going to cut it. But one of the reasons for my addiction is O.J. Simpson. Is watching OJ and the way everybody was so proud of him being knowledgeable and able to speak at a certain level and not fit the stereotype. Like you, that's why I love watching you. You don't fit the
Because
stereotype.
OJ was one of the first to have a national commercial. He
Now,
had the Hearst commercial, he had the OJ, he had the juice.
But he was sideline reporter.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
So
it's Monday Night Football.
Yeah, so to be that, and you know, the only thing I didn't have he had is a big head. Like his head is like, OJ's head is big, waterhead boy. And but I like that. I love that Muhammad Ali stood up and said something and didn't move away from it.
Right.
I liked Jim Brown. I loved it. I loved all of that bravado and that ability to speak well and do well. And when I saw Jim Brown, he didn't just do the movie that he quit on.
What, Dirty Dozen?
That wasn't it. He did a plethora of movies right after and plays. And I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to get to that.
LeBron.
The greatest. Next.
The greatest?
Yeah.
What you mean the greatest?
You said LeBron. I thought that's what you say after.
That's
you say
it.
LeBron. I thought that was his last name.
Yeah,
LeBron the greatest.
It could be. It could be.
Yeah.
You played against Kareem. Kareem retired, had the most points ever. The record has almost stood for 40 years because he broke the record in 1984. Did you think anybody in your lifetime would get this record?
Kareem's record?
Yes.
No. Not even Karl Malone. And Karl is number 2, right?
Right.
And they were giving him points when he wasn't even playing. like I think they just gave him 2 more points and he's been retired for like 25 years. I think this. I think they're not going to let him get it.
They're not going to let who get it?
LeBron.
They got no choice. The man is 1,000 points.
You're going to be really mad.
Go, I'm listening.
Yeah. Think about it. Just think, like, I didn't agree with something Phil Jackson said to me, and then I got into my 50s and I got it. So I didn't agree, but I say, Phil, Kobe had 81. He was about, no matter what you do, he was about to get 104. They would have kept feeding the ball. The other side would have been like, don't hurt him. But there would have been clear outs, and Kobe would have got 104. And he goes, well, some records need to stand. And I was like, wow. He goes, yeah, he's number 2. He doesn't need to be number 2.
You think Kobe could have got, well, I think they took him out with like a minute to go. You think he could have got 19 points in a minute?
Well, I watched at least, no, they took him out with a whole 7 minutes to go.
No, you talking about the Toronto game? It was only a minute.
Only a minute?
Because they were behind by so much. He had to shoot, to get them back in the ball game. So you don't think they're going to let LeBron get the 38 plus thousand?
No. But that'd be number 2 anyway.
You don't want to be number 2. That man, think about it. 18 straight years of 25 plus points or more. You're probably never going to see that again, Sal.
Kareem
was on fumes the last couple of years. Stop it.
Hey, let me tell you, I don't know.
Kareem averaged 10 points.
And they were well deserved, but let me tell you something. Kareem was hard, boy.
Yeah, but for LeBron, he plays, the bigs. Normally bigs play a long period of time. Because guess what? You get the rebound, you pass it out, they wait for you to get down the court. Kareem would go down to the block. He would give Magic the hand, the left or the right. Magic would feed him. He'd turn around and throw the sky hook.
Yeah, and they did that 12 times a game. The rest of them, Kareem had to go get off the rack.
Right.
Like that's what he would say.
Right.
I'm gonna give it to you like this, 3 times a quarter.
Right.
Then we're gonna run it 3 times. Magic knew exactly where everybody was being.
Right.
I don't think they would give it to him. I think, and I listened to you when you champion LeBron. I take my hat off to you. And I had to tell him?
What?
I don't know. I have like wine for him, a whole bunch of stuff. But like he looked at me funny. But anyway, I told him, I said, I thought Carmelo should have been the number 1 pick, and I had to apologize. I was like, I was 100% wrong. I had no idea you were going to be this good.
And I tell people, I said, no matter whatever you think about LeBron, no matter what you thought he was going to be based on him in high school, he's exceeded it.
He's the best. I'm nervous. I look at him walk and I go, just walk it. And I was like, oh, if you see him walking on court, you're like, oh my God, this kid can play. That's the first thing you do when you see him walk. He got to walk like
he walks like an athlete.
He walk like you're about to get the numbers. And to see somebody my height shoot like that, KD is a whole nother level.
Right.
But to see him shoot like that, dribble like Magic, look for people like Magic, take over games like Magic. He's the closest thing to Magic I've ever seen. Everybody talk about Michael. I've always said Magic.
Michael was a scorer. Michael was just trying to kill you. Yeah. Michael didn't want anybody else to kill you. He wanted to kill you.
You know what they would do, man, at the Forum? They would play I Love New York, I Love LA.
Yeah.
That song would start and we would, I hate that.
I love LA. I love it.
And Magic would walk on the court and he would go like this. And what he was doing, he would look at the ref and go, all right, don't try it. He would click everybody on. He would turn the lights on. He would make some wind blow. Man, this dude.
Okay, I'm gonna give you some decades, and you tell me the best player in the decade. So we go 60s: Chamberlain, Robertson, Jerry West, Bill Russell.
Robertson.
Oscar was the best player in the 60s?
Oscar Robertson?
Yeah.
Next.
70s: Kareem, Bob Lanier, Walt Frazier, Bob McAdoo.
Jerry West.
80s: Magic, Bird, Mo Malone, Kareem, Doc.
Magic.
Dang. 90s: Jordan, Hakeem, Barkley.
Jordan.
2000s: Shaq, Kobe, Dirk, Duncan, LeBron, Iverson, Nash, Garnett.
Shaq is the most dominant player I've ever seen. But you got Dirk Nowitzki in there. I'm going to go with Shaq.
2010: LeBron, Steph.
LeBron.
Durant, Kobe. Who will be the dominant player of the 2020s? So Luka, Steph, Durant.
Ja Morant.
Over Luka?
Ja Morant.
Over Yoke.
Am I
what
saying,
about Giannis?
Am I saying it ghetto enough? Ja Morant. Yo, Ja Morant. No, Ja Morant. There go Ja Morant over there, mama.
Okay, give me John Salley's top 5 players currently playing.
Luka, Giannis, Steph, LeBron, Ja Morant. No, what's the other big white guy's name?
Jokic, Nikola Jokic.
I get so nervous watching him, knowing I would have had to punch him in the face. Like I would have figured out how to like throw the ball to hit him in his face. That's the only way to, because he looks so awkward.
Right. But he giving people that work.
He giving numbers. He goes, oh, I'm going to get all these rebounds and I'm going to assist. Yeah, that's my 5.
Starting a franchise right now: Durant or Giannis?
Durant. I know, man. I was ready for you. You didn't know I was ready for you. I would say Giannis, but I would say Durant. Giannis, I mean. I would always say Durant because he really plays defense. He's not lazy.
No.
That's a huge thing. He's not lazy. He's focused when he's on court. His job is to put the brown thing, the orange thing inside the orange thing more. Like I think I got to his DM, man. I was trying to interview him when I was about to do interviews for Vlad TV. And I wanted, it was the only person I wanted to talk basketball about. It was a trip. That was it. And like you know basketball, I was knowing football, and I didn't tell people at Best Damn because I knew they were going to put me in every segment.
Right.
So I act like I didn't know it. And then I would hear them say stuff, and I'd be like,
that it. You spoke glowingly about Kareem and knowing his history, the 66 summit that they had in Cleveland. He was there as a college player. You spoke glowingly about Kyrie. I know how you feel about Kyrie. We'll talk about him a little later. Kareem was very critical of some of the things that Kyrie said. He's been critical of LeBron lately. What is your position on Kareem or the old guard being critical of some of the young players? Warranted, out of bounds, fair foul?
It was 100% out of bounds.
The one on LeBron or the one on Kyrie?
Especially on Kyrie.
Okay.
And so we could speak on it. I think this was the reason. I think somebody, along with him, is saying to him, if you want to get things going and become relevant and be able to garner money where they bring you in and you got to say something that is asinine.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, in order to be in this system of media, controversy and conflict and a scandal is celebrity now. You understand what I'm saying? So to say that the school system has let Kyrie down is saying your Duke education is useless. But when you say that about education, you mean your programming didn't stick.
Right.
Because Stephen A., my man 50 grand, went in on Kyrie and had COVID twice and barely could walk and thought he was on his deathbed with the vaccine and the boosters.
Right.
Kyrie had none of that.
Right.
So,
but like the vaccine and booster doesn't guarantee, just like taking the mumps or the chicken pox or all those vaccines doesn't guarantee taking a flu shot.
I'm a vegan. I started studying veganism in 1991 and became a complete vegan in 2007. Like I lived this lifestyle. So I understood.
Yeah, but you had another 16 years of eating meat. You had done got it all out your system.
Right. So if you get things out of your system, which your system is only right here. So if you get things out of your lower intestines in 60 days, 30 days, in 11 months, you can have a totally clear system. So knowing that the stronger immune system and the stronger your system is, the better it is against viruses.
What about Kyrie retweeting Alex Jones, a known conspiracist, about Sandy Hook didn't happen? The parents are actors. People lost their kids.
Yeah. Once again, I don't know if I said it on this show, but social media has destroyed everything. Because stop talking to the peanut gallery. Not that against the black folks in there, and what you call it. Stop listening. The audience is there to listen to you, right? And to sit around and to talk, just doing things on Twitter, you can get caught up.
Right.
But let me, and it's, soon as I see it, I'm the biggest Kanye fan. Soon as I see anything with Kanye that is huge and talked about everywhere, I step back and I look to my right and left. I look around. I go, something's about to happen. Because every time they've used Kanye as an excuse or a distraction, something went down that we were not paying attention to. In this present time, they're talking about White Lives Matter t-shirt, Black Lives Matters, what he's doing, people going back and forth. Yeah. And what's up? What's next?
What are we missing?
I think Africa is upset. There's a war about to happen. There's a straight up war about to happen. Not a war like in Afghanistan where we only see it on the news for 7 seconds and we go back. This one's a real one. These are white folks against white folks. This is a real war. This is World War I and World War II. There's going to be land changers, but they're going to talk about Kanye.
Well, Kanye put that out there. We didn't want to talk about Kanye. You think we like talking about Kanye?
Put it out there. Kanye walked with a shirt on. Everybody walked with a shirt on.
That's why he did it.
Exactly. He knows how to be a distraction. He knows how to make you say yay.
No, I don't say anything because I think that's neither here nor there. I will keep that to myself.
I know. I do it because I watch your show. I was just trying to nudge you on.
I know. I'm good. But when
Kanye has changed everything in the 21st century. He is Mozart.
I won't go that far.
I'm saying it right now. He's a Mozart.
Yeah, but those guys were. Anyway, Kareem has said some things about LeBron.
Yeah, he's wrong.
I noticed that, but Kareem didn't become very critical of LeBron until LeBron started getting closer and closer to that record. He was never critical of LeBron.
Remember, Eric Dickerson don't like you if you can run. If you get 1,800 yards, Eric Dickerson don't like you.
But here's the thing. Ed even made it abundantly clear. He's like, yeah, I don't want nobody to break that record.
Exactly.
I want to keep. But Kareem is like, yeah, I'm if somebody is fortunate enough to break the record, yada yada yada, I'm cool with it. And even if you're not, I don't believe you should be dismissive or search for things to say, okay, well, this person doesn't seem like he's right or
he shouldn't say it publicly.
Well,
listen, Kareem, I'm old enough to remember how they treated Kareem in the media. He should not want to be the person who does that.
But it wasn't like Kareem was very cooperative with the media also now.
Well, that's why he shouldn't want to do that. Like, bruh, they were killing you.
Yes.
Killing you. Why would you want to do that to another young cat who doesn't deserve it?
Right.
He doesn't deserve it.
We mentioned this earlier, Draymond and Jordan Poole. Put your thing in cap because it's like, well, obviously
when did this happen?
Yesterday. It seems to me like Draymond is the gatekeeper. Okay, this is the way we do things here. And if someone gets out of line, every team has a gatekeeper. Everybody has a gatekeeper.
What did he say he hit him in his eye for?
We don't really know because
he punched him in his eye or hit him with the ball.
Well, they said I guess he struck him.
He sucker punched him or he had him knowing.
I mean, my thing is, you don't walk up on someone if you ain't really trying to squabble. This notion like you in third grade and y'all walk up on somebody and you circle around, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Don't touch me, don't push me, don't cross this line.
Right.
But you grown now. Different rules apply. If you step to somebody,
I feel threatened.
Thank you.
I feel threatened. I'm carrying this situation. I feel threatened, and I'm about to hit you in the throat. You won't be able to tell anybody what happened.
How do you get past? Okay, teammates fight.
Yeah, but this is a bad one. If he has a swollen eye, he now is going to be. Think about this.
Well, he can't come to. He can't be on. The media can't ever get that because they get the eye. That's a meme now.
It's a meme, and your kids can't go to school together.
Yeah.
Your girl is going to be like, yeah, keep talking to me. I'm gonna call Draymond over here.
Yeah.
Then you got domestic violence in the house.
If you ever get beat up, yeah. Oh, you talk to me crazy. You ain't talking to that. You ain't talking to him crazy. Talk to him like you talk to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, whoa.
He said, where's all this aggression? You didn't have it for Draymond.
Right. You raise your voice at me, you get all big with me. I ain't nobody. You should have did that to him.
So Draymond might get Poole going in there, shoot up the whole place.
Can you get past? I mean, how do you? Because for me, I've never really gotten in a fight with a team. One time in my freshman year in college, and he ended up leaving, basically before the thing was over. And I'm not a fighter. I just I just want to do my thing. Hey, I'm respectful of everybody. Hey, I'm gonna give you your space. You give me my space.
Yeah.
But I ain't no punk. Now you're not finna disrespect me.
Right.
And so if you disrespect me, I don't really know how tough I am, Sally. But I'm trying to let you find out how tough I am.
Wow.
So I don't really know. Oh. I don't know what I'm capable of doing.
I'm a knife carrier. When I got to Atlanta from New York, I'm walking in AU Center, and this cop sees me. I got my Kango on, and I'm like this, and I'm walking, and he said, hey, and I walked by him, and he said, yeah, I talked to you. I said, I hear you. I ain't do nothing. You can't do. I turned around, and when I turned around, he got his nightstick out. He just hit the back of my pocket. He said, don't move. And he pulled my 007 out. He goes, you about to run, huh? I go, hell yeah. He goes, just run. I ain't gonna do. He said, but you can't carry this knife. So I'm a knife carrier. Right. I see that. To this day, I couldn't get in here because I respect your security. But I mean, you run up on me, I'm thinking you're gonna hurt me.
Right.
That's like if you come on my property.
You know what tech is. I've lived in Georgia, so I know what tech is.
Yeah.
And so you probably had to carry over.
Tech wood. It's tech wood. And
then if you was in the AU center, yeah, you probably had to have something.
But if somebody walk up on you,
yes.
I remember
if we got a disagreement going on. Oh man, as our voices get more animated and raised, I'm not gonna just let you walk up on me.
Yeah. Well, Poole is a smooth cat.
Nah, bro, you ain't that. Nah, bro. If
I want to see his eye. I want to see the eye.
See, now you about to make jokes. See, you about to make
Exactly.
jokes.
There's nothing left but jokes
No,
after him. I want to see the eye.
So now we got to fight every day.
Every single day.
Till I swear your
Until
eye.
your eye. You just hit him in his eye.
You're not finna lump me up and have me walking around here looking like the Elephant Man and then think we cool. That brought us together. No, it didn't.
No.
Hell no, it didn't.
I want to see the eye now.
We mentioned Draymond. Could Draymond played in the 80s?
Oh, yes. Draymond would have been, me and Draymond would have been best. I love the bravado. I love the way he plays.
But back then, they if you were a tough guy, you had to prove it. Because somebody would go step to you. Back Oak built that reputation, and Mahar and them built that reputation.
And there was no fine. If something happened, you got in a fight, the refs broke y'all up, they would tell the coach, hey, get them substitutes. And you go sit down, calm it, cool down, and then when they felt you were cool enough, you can go back in the game.
Right.
Like, they didn't have time for you to be in the locker room. We paying you all this. We paying you $10,000 a year. Right. Let's get in there.
Switching eras. Give me some guys that you think could have been the same play. They're great now, but they would be great in your era.
LeBron James. KD.
Okay.
Damian Lillard. Ja Morant. Ja Morant is my man. I made my wife watch. I said, hey, only for a second, because I don't like you looking at these young kids. Watch this. Okay, now get out of the way.
What about Giannis?
Oh, man, Giannis they probably would have been in foul trouble, but Giannis would be an unbelievable player in our decade. And it's funny, I listen to those different podcasts where guys talk about decades, like Gilbert Arenas, and when they talk about guys, they didn't realize that old man strength when they elbow you in your third rib and then your top rib, knowing why they did that. You know what I'm saying? Or kneeing you right above your thigh, or elbowing you in your arm here. Like things that they would do, like pointy doing things, and then all of a sudden, you can't do this naturally.
Right.
You get the chicken wing. Now you miss it. Like they didn't realize all those nuances in the game.
So all the bumps and bruises that they were putting on you was for a reason.
Yeah, man. Like it's almost like hitting somebody constantly over here where the liver resides.
Right.
Eventually, you're not going to want to move your arm to throw a punch.
Right.
And if this is your jab, it ain't going to be worth anything because your body is not going to want to throw it.
Right.
Those kind of nuances. But I think there's some really, the athleticism, people can say they've never seen. No, we've seen David Thompson. We've seen Bernard King give 50 2 nights in a row. Bernard King would give people 50 and shake his shoulders and shoot on the way up. It was amazing. Adrian Dantley led the lead in scoring two times. He was 6'4". So, and he didn't jump high.
Right.
And he didn't have a long-range jump shot, and he led the NBA in scoring. So things like that, like guys would have to understand now, they were more technical.
Right.
We only had 2 refs too.
Right.
It was a different way to play.
You played, you leave Detroit, you go to Chicago. What was your expectations when you went to Chicago, and what was it like playing with Jordan? How the hell did you go from that's your?
Okay, because I'm not a gang member. I don't follow colors.
You follow green.
That's right. I was like, I work for IBM in the Detroit office, the Miami office, the Toronto office, the Chicago office, and the Los Angeles office.
Okay.
But I work for IBM.
Right.
That's the way I always was.
Okay.
The crazy thing is, Jerry Krause, God rest his soul, told me he was going to take me number 9.
Right.
So, but then, they told me they were going to take me number 2 to Boston too. That was Lenny. So I said, well, at least I'm going to Chicago. I visited 3 times. Reinsdorf likes me. I still do an event in Vegas every year with Reinsdorf. And I'm thinking I'm going to Chicago, and they take Brad Sellers. And I'm telling you, I have like 37 people in the stands. I'm thinking, I wish I had a dog whistle. We're going to tear this place up if I don't get drafted in the first round.
Right.
And so I thought I was going to be in Chicago. So I told Jerry Krause and I told Red Auerbach, every time I play there, I was going to play like I was playing a home game. And I did every Boston game. I was trying to give them the business. And in Chicago, if I saw Brad Sellers, who, you know, I was cool with, but if I saw him, I wanted to prove they made a mistake on the draft every single time. Hey, Mike, one time we played Michael Shannon. He's like, yeah, after the game, man, I got the Ferrari. I said, oh, I can't wait to see it. He goes, yeah, he just got out his deal with Chevrolet so he can drive the Ferrari now in town. And we beat him, and I'm at that. He, vroom, vroom. What happened? Man, I ain't hanging out with you. You know, so I always looked at it that I was going to work, and after, you know, I didn't live and die. I didn't live with it that way. But I love Chicago. It was one of my favorite. It was my favorite parts of my career.
I mean, you look at it. You played with a couple of top 75 players. You had Isaiah, Joe Dewey. You go to Chicago. You play with Scottie and Mike. You go to L.A. and you got Shaq and Kobe. What was it like each stop along the way? Because you got Shaq and Kobe early. Jordan and Pippen were their veteran ball club. They had, already had the three-peat. They were already established. I mean, Jordan probably, by the time you got there, Jordan was in year 12.
Yeah, 12. Isaiah and Joe, they literally trained me and taught me. I learned a lot. I still do, man. Like Isaiah, I learn from Isaiah every day. I don't talk to Joe that much anymore. But then when you get to Michael and Scottie, it was a well-oiled machine. And I thought however they practice in Chicago is how everybody's practice. I remember going through that practice, and I used to think practice was useless or something. I'm better off practicing by myself, except in Chicago. It was targeted, and it looked like everything was helping you to get better and better and better. And then when I got to the Lakers, man, I saw, one, I didn't really realize how mammoth Shaquille is.
Shaq is huge.
You don't realize.
No, you don't.
And,
you don't.
And then I would hate to have played against Shaq. I did, but I would hate to have to do it for a living. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad I was at the end of my career, because it's a hard thing to have to deal with him 4 times a year. And then Kobe was just turning into this thing. He was turning into this unbelievable copycat of Michael. But, Tide Evergreen is what I call it. Like, you have Tide and Tide Plus.
Right.
Tide Mountain Fresh and Tide Mountain Fresh and Tide what would it be? Y'all know as a baby scent.
Yeah.
Like, those are the versions of Michael, but the closest was Kobe. It was the best thing about being with MJ is, one, he smoked good cigars, drank really good.
Can you believe that he was able to do that with smoking cigars and drinking as much as he did? I'm not saying he's an alcoholic, but he enjoyed a bread. but the cigars, he loved the cigars. He gonna get 3 sticks a day.
Me too. But you don't you don't smoke cigars. Cigars smoke. So you don't inhale cigars. The cigars just sitting there to feed the spirits and let the.
That's what you telling yourself?
Digging.
Yeah, exactly. You telling yourself that? Huh?
Yeah, but you don't inhale cigars. You inhale cigarettes and you inhale cannabis, which you should. Now, inhaling cannabis, because I meant to tell you, on the way over here, you don't partake in cannabis.
I don't.
Yeah, you won't live as long as me because of it. But it's about to be passed. Like, Biden just decided he was going to push the ball legalizing it. I might even vote for Biden.
I might start open up me a shop like you did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You mentioned that you were playing against Charles Oakley and he punched you in the stomach.
He did, man.
No, you weren't playing against him. It was at a comedy show, right?
No, we went to Kentucky Derby.
Kentucky Derby, yeah, okay.
Kentucky Derby.
So what happened?
So Dave Chappelle walks up with Chris Tucker, He goes, Michael's sitting there. This is your man, Michael, right here. Right, one time. Michael or Kobe? Which one? And I look at Michael, and Oakley's over here. I don't even see him put his glass down and we inside the booth. It's like all black people in this booth. And I said, Money, at 27, young fella would give you the business. And Oakley came out of nowhere and not all air. And Shannon, when I tell you, he hit me. You ever get punched and don't see the punch coming? It's like a quarterback not seeing he's about to get destroyed from the back. He hit me so hard, man.
Oak heavy-handed too. People don't realize how big Oak is.
And Mike was like, Sal, crazy. He just messing with them. I was like trying to act like I was laughing, trying to find air. I was like, give me air. Oh man, that shit hurt. And it was. I'm glad there was no women understanding what we're saying. It just looked like boys playing.
Right.
Man, I would have had to give him one on the eye. Ain't gonna have me laughing. You take my breath away, just like Oakley did with that punch.
Larry Bird, you played against, like I said, those. I mean, y'all was in the same conference, and you played each other so many times in the Eastern Conference Final in the playoffs. They say Larry was more of a trash talker than Jordan.
Yes, and me, and Oak. This is the crazy thing. Larry Bird is a black guy,
They bleached his skin.
just so he wouldn't get in trouble going downtown Indiana. Because if you heard his diction, you would understand it too. But Larry was just the business. Like I'm so happy on TikTok. Somebody put other Larry Bird pieces, and then you can ask Magic. He didn't miss. Those big shots went in.
Right.
Those big plays he made.
Right. He said it was disrespectful for the opposing coach to put a white player on him. Say, you disrespected me. You disrespected my game not to give me.
Yeah, I want all the smoke. And then he was going to talk smack and sound like it. And that's how I knew that he was passant blanc. He was passing for white. He was just passing.
Is that why him and Doc got into it?
Oh, no.
They say he was talking. He
told Doc, he said, "You're an old man. This is my league now.
Take this 3 with you."
Oof. And he would say, Sal, you better get help. You better ask for help.
Nah, I don't want no help. I got him. No, you.
Draws. I was like, oh, somebody's about to get in and take this. I'm gonna foul him. This is really good cognac. I'm not that I'm surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm pleasant. I'm not angry surprised. I can't believe it.
You know what? I got one for you. I want you to give me your all-time starting 5 of your former teammates. Woo! Woo! Somebody gonna get left off this thing.
I got Brian Shaw. I've never done this. Okay, what do you mean? The guys I like to hang out with?
No, your all-time. I need you to give me your starting 5 of your former teammates.
Starting 5?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not in there. I'm coaching.
I mean, you want to put yourself in there, but I don't know why you would do that, but okay.
I'm coaching. You ask 5 around me? You mean 4 others? I would have Shaquille, Bill Laimbeer,
Okay.
Dennis Rodman,
Okay.
Kobe Bryant. Oh. That cognac made me think feel like I'm on Drink Champs. Hold on. Shaquille, Kobe, Isaiah, Michael, Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
Let me tell you what would happen.
What would their record be?
Their record would be.
Would they be Golden State?
Be 7 people punched in the face. This is why. Michael is not going to pass the ball.
Okay.
Kobe is not going to pass the ball. Isaiah, depending on the day, is going to tell you who is going to get the ball.
Okay.
Dennis is going to play the toughest defense on whoever the other big is. And Shaquille is going to be in the middle. So, I'm glad we did that. When people put teams together, you have to put, when I developed the human, I'm sorry, when God developed the human, same difference. When God developed the human, and let's just talk about the spine.
Right.
There's bone and then there's disc.
Right.
Both of them are important.
Right.
But you can't have all bone.
Right.
Because now you have to get it fused and you have no ability to be flexible.
Right.
So you need Draymond Green to snap, only get 6 points, 5 rebounds, but this guy only got 4 points, and he thinks after listening to Draymond, he's going to go home and ask his wife, is all that true what Draymond was saying on the court?
Right.
He's got to unwind.
Right.
So it's just hard to have one basketball and guys who have to have the basketball on the same team.
Is Isaiah the greatest player you ever played with?
I think so.
Did you not play with Michael?
I did.
Did you not play with Shaq and Kobe?
Yeah.
Well, damn, what happened?
Isaiah was 6 feet tall.
2-time champion, finals MVP, 12-time All-Star, 2-time All-Star Game MVP, all-time All-NBA.
Yeah, I think Michael was the greatest. I say that, and he knows why I say that, to piss him off. I used to say to him, Money, these people, you're Messiah. I said in 2,000 years, they're going to be worshiping you. Like, they're going to be Jesus who? Like, you're the Messiah.
Yeah.
And he was like, shut up, Sal. And I go, dog, think about it. Some people literally worship their whole lives and have everything based upon you. And if they met you, you wouldn't talk to them. You wouldn't say anything to them. Like, you'd be like, yo, security. But some people are like stuck in that piece. And I would say to James Worthy, I said, can you believe the way they treat Michael? He goes, yeah, skinny little Michael. They acting like skinny little Michael is the best player ever. Because when we were in college, he was just skinny.
Right.
You know, we would laugh about it. We'd laugh about it.
He was like, Mike Jordan.
Yeah, it was like, yeah. He was, when he went and tried out, it was Clyde Drexler was going at him. This person was going at him. And then he turned into like this unbelievable, it was like Lil Wayne when he was part of the Hot Boys, and then he turned into Weezy.
But the thing, you've been around him. I've never seen anything like Mike. The aura around him.
Yeah.
The man he levitating.
Eddie Murphy.
I've never been.
Eddie Murphy.
I've never been around Eddie. I've been around some famous actors and actresses and seen some famous people. But Jordan levitates.
Yeah.
That man,
he changed it. You know, it's so funny too because you base everything upon Michael Jordan. Even Tom Brady is based upon Michael Jordan.
Right. He's the Jordan of football.
Yeah.
He's the Jordan of basketball.
He's the Jordan of golf. Yeah, that kind of stuff. What was the other cat? So I did a friend of mine, I didn't say his name, you know him, wanted to meet Beyonce. And this is right before September 11th. And we're at this event in New York. And so I introduced Beyonce to him, and she goes, hi. And she goes, John, I want to meet Michael Jackson. I said, I felt different. I said that. I said, I felt different. I didn't know he was in. Like, he literally changed the molecules in the room.
Right.
Michael Jordan does the same thing.
Yeah.
I begged him to go out with us in Philadelphia. We go out. We go in the back way. We smoking cigars in the joint. And the owner of the club come and go, Michael Jordan in my club? Cut the music off and turn the lights on. He wanted everybody to see Michael Jordan was in his club. I'm telling you, he changes the way people move. His new wife is the bomb too, because her making him do normal things is dope. That's good for him.
Right.
You know, it's kind of crazy.
Because he's very isolated early on. I mean, he didn't really do any. He didn't do, really anything publicly.
No, we were in Monte Carlo, and Marvis Hagler was, he moved to Italy.
Right.
And he was in Saint-Tropez, and he saw Michael, and Mike was more impressed to seeing Marvin Hagler than they were just happy to talk to one another. Right. And then we were walking in the street, And I go, how you like this? He goes, no one's bothering me. I go, because you make less than them. We're in Monte Carlo. Like, bro, you're not making anywhere close to this money right here. So I took it for granted because I can go anywhere.
Right.
And I can go anywhere. And then don't y'all know who I think I am? I'm supposed to be up front. But he can't go anywhere.
No.
So it's.
Do you think he's the most recognizable person in the world?
Used to be.
Who do you think it is now?
Kanye West. If I'm wrong, this is why I told you he's brilliant. He is brilliant.
I would have said the only people that could probably rival him, and as far as face recognition, probably Cristiano Ronaldo.
No.
No. Probably Messi.
No. They're just soccer players. They got to have their jerseys on.
Nah, people know them.
I guarantee you.
That man got 500 million followers, 500 million. Kanye got
$6 billion.
No, you do realize, like Elon Musk.
Music transcends everything.
So you think that Kanye is more recognizable than Jordan, Messi, or Ronaldo?
Right now?
No.
Like, some people didn't know Michael Jordan played basketball.
No, but you know what he is. Or Tiger. Now, when Tiger was at his height.
You don't know what Tiger looked like now. Tiger got a limp. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say nothing mean, Shannon. He just,
I'm waiting.
He ain't got that walk anymore. He doesn't show up in those spots anymore. He's downplaying it, trying to, he's letting everything die down before Tiger strikes back. He's ready to prowl.
You think you think we'll ever see one more glimpse of what he gave us a couple years ago at the Masters?
If Tiger got into hot yoga, this is true statement. If Tiger got into yoga, he'd be back. It'd be hot yoga. He'd be back to the Tiger we knew, because every other distraction got in Tiger. Life got in the way.
Right.
So once he centers himself, he's unstoppable.
Are you sad? Are you disappointed or upset? Sad, I guess sad is a better choice of words, to see how it's playing out between Scottie and Michael. Did you ever think it would get to this?
No, because I always think Michael.
I thought they were cool.
I thought they were clowning. I thought they clown. He's clowning it. Michael clowns him and stuff, right?
I think The Last Dance did this, because Jordan said some things in The Last Dance. Because if it's first of all,
well, Michael won't say anything he didn't say to your face.
But here's the thing: why would you put Scottie not Jordan? You weren't there. Why would you put Scottie not going into the game in '94 when you weren't there? Why would you put that in your documentary? It's like me. I got something, but I'm gonna put something that's not pleasing to John in my documentary. What the hell? You looking like, bro? What the hell I got to do with this?
Did I do it? This is the deal. Scottie was wrong in '94.
Yes.
And this was part of the story on how Tony Kukoc got to it and how.
But that didn't last. That ain't part of Jordan's story. Jordan wasn't on the team.
Well, he also didn't edit it.
But I'm saying,
he just executive. They had to say he's executive producer.
Yeah, he got final say.
He goes some cut. No, shoot, he don't.
Jordan had say in that.
No, he didn't. Hey, and Shannon, I'm gonna tell you right now, you had the best interview with Lamar Odom. Period. And period. Vlad almost had it. Vlad almost had that interview. The boy didn't show up. I'm telling you, you had the best interview.
Appreciate that, Lamar.
He said, seriously, he said no to everybody else but you, and felt comfortable telling you his truth. You know how crazy that is?
Yeah.
I wish you would have wanted to cut something out, and I was producer on here. I'd be, Shannon, you're right. We're gonna cut it out, and then I'll have somebody go get you drunk while we put it on the air.
Put it back in.
Say sorry to you after we get the points.
The Lakers. You go to the Lakers after you stay with the Bulls. The Lakers basically signed you to babysit Shaq. Now, you guys, you do have some familiarity. Both of you are dogs. I'm on your side 5.
You say
the purpley gold.
Yes, this is the deal. That's how I got in.
Okay.
I did I'm I don't know if you know this, but I'm a psychic. So I literally was watching.
Psycho, we go move the I and put an O.
I was psycho. I called Phil and I go, dog, you ain't gonna let these two guys not win a championship. And I had no idea he was negotiating with the Lakers.
Right.
So I had to play it off like, well, I know the inside, so you better put me. I realized I tapped in at the right time.
Right.
And so I had to act like, okay, you're going in, you're gonna need me because I do this. And my job wasn't to babysit, it was literally Phil believes in vets. And I said, I live 5 doors from Shaq. He listens to me. He's one of my favorite people on the planet. When I needed money financially, Cat hit me down. And when I was like, I'm gonna pay you back, he said, don't pay me back. I was like, damn.
Thank you.
Like this dude.
If I leave some money, you gonna pay me back.
Oh yeah, I know that's right. Or I'm gonna hurt your eye.
Yeah.
And but I was sitting there and I would do this to Shaq. I knew the offense. I thought the offense was beautiful, and so Tex loved that I knew the offense. Loved that I loved it. He literally wrote the book and then autographed it to me. I knew the words. I knew why it worked. I knew other nuances of it. And so I would just stand behind Shaq when I'm guarding him, and he would say something, and when Shaq would go to make a move that everybody would make, I go, don't move. He knows you're going to make that move. Let this happen, because this person is not knowing what comes after this and this.
Right.
Shaq would listen. And then Shaq said, why can't I just post up right here? I said, you can, but wait till late in the game. Things like that.
Right.
And then we went to Boston, and me and Shaq's uncle, we got to go out. Shaq couldn't go out.
Right.
Shaq couldn't go out, but we got to go out.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, I think it's mostly energy. The reason I've been on teams that won championships is I bring a better energy. I'm a teammate. I'm a hard worker. I make sure, like, hey man, we got to be on the bus at this time.
Right.
That constant tick on what we have to do. Those are the kind of things I get to. Yeah, you saw me over CJ with my eye watering.
Somebody must have punched you earlier.
No, so what happened, Shannon, is I got I went and got my eyes operated on because I ain't want to show you how big my glasses was. Yeah, and then
you mean to tell me you're a vegan though? I thought vegans don't get anything wrong.
No. This was bad eyesight since I was a little boy.
All them carrots and greens and
I know my daughter said that too. I wish beta carotene was really the only thing that would help my eyes. I didn't see so much bad stuff. My eyes watering, and literally when I got poked in the eye, it kind of messed it up. So my tear duct keeps watering. They told me that's a part of the Illuminati too. That's what they said.
That's what they said. No, I don't believe they said
on the internet. That's why I said everything on the internet. Boy, I've been saying I don't even know why. What's happening?
Log off.
I know.
We see what happened last week with the situation in Boston. Yeah. Ime Udoka. Do you believe he'll ever coach?
How you say his full name?
Ime Udoka.
Oh, really?
Udoka?
Yeah.
Ime Udoka.
Don't make me make jokes. Udoka.
Do you believe he'll coach again?
No, hells no.
So why they do this? We're gonna suspend him for the season and then we're gonna reevaluate. Why not just go?
You know the real reason.
I believe they want it. Normally in a situation like this, when they have, the guy normally comes in and says, I'm resigning, blah, blah, blah. And they're hoping he resigns, then you don't have to pay the money. He's like, no, I'm not going to. Not if somebody resigns?
Yes, they do.
You got to pay it?
Yeah.
So why don't you just resign and get the money?
Because then they're going to invoke the moral clause.
Right.
Which means they don't have to pay it. And if I suspend you, I don't have to. They ain't police officers.
Right.
He ain't gonna suspend you with pay.
Pay, right. You're not going.
He ain't kill a black guy. Jesus Christ.
You're not going on administrative leave.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. You didn't kill a black guy. Come on. So that's what they're gonna do. They're suffering, and we're gonna let you have to deal with this. Let you have to sleep with this. Let you have to go with this the whole day.
Could they have handled it differently?
No.
They had to say we're suspending.
I don't believe in any of the things that's happening until I know for sure when they come out with this is what happened. My heart goes out to my friend Nia because she don't want to be known for this.
Right.
She don't want to be known for the girl. She don't. She's an actress.
Right.
She's a director. She's a mom. She's
Right.
a bad bitch.
Yes.
She don't want to be. That's the thing Nia wants to be known for.
Right.
So I know that pissed her off at that piece. I've been around it since the 80s.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry, Nia. Since the 2000s when she was only 17, 18. No, but I've been around it for a long time. And I think that however it is, they thought of the way to literally twist the knife constantly and let you die slow. But there's no reason to ever let him be a coach somewhere else.
Why not? I mean, that's unforgivable?
No. Now, everywhere you go as a coach, that's all you're going to be known for. That's why they suspended him. So this can constantly soak and fester and fester and fester.
What if he goes to college?
What booster is going to sit down and want you to stand next to his room?
Man, it's hard for me to believe that Ime Udoka did the worst thing ever for a coach and he can't get another job.
I feel sorry for you not knowing it. But you know, you'd be better off giving Brett Favre an EBT card.
No, he probably got a bunch of those. He got a bunch of those.
He got a bunch of.
He got a bunch of those.
He got a bunch of burner TVs, burner phones. Oh my God, that's not gonna make it. But that was funny.
Let's talk about that Bad Boys Piston team. And you mentioned obviously Isaiah. You had Joe Dumars. You had Mahorn for one of the championships. You had yourself. You had Lambert. You had Worm and Dennis Rodman. What made that team so special?
James Edwards.
James,
Mahorn,
you had
Mark Aguirre. Vinny, the who?
Mark Aguirre. One year you had Dan. Did you win the championship with Dan Lee, or did you?
No, we got cheated out here with the Lakers. They called a fake foul on Bill.
Oh, they did. They did. They did.
They did that.
They got you.
They had a witch doctor at the game in Game 6 and threw it at Isaiah's ankle. I'm telling you, man, I done been in some spirits going around. AD taught me everything though. That was the best. We named him teacher. The best teacher for 3 years, and I've had great coaches.
Right.
My teaching came from AD and Adrian Dantley. Still love you, bro. And you have that. What I said and I watch now when I listen to you, there's no vets.
Right.
And if there are vets, I'm not saying all of y'all, but my vets, knowing I was going, Rick Mahorn knew they brought me in to take his spot. He still taught me and gave me technique. He knows it. Eventually, you got to know that the next guy is coming in and
they brought him in to replace.
But while you here, you gonna play.
Right.
You better be good at this because we need to be good across the board.
Right.
And that's the way I looked at it. And I think about it, man. Some people don't realize in this world, these are Fortune 500 guys that's supposed to work together. It's hard to work together. So what makes you a champion, or how I think, is all you guys, you saw what happened even with y'all. When money gets involved, it messes everything up.
Yeah.
It messes the team up, it messes everything up. If money was not involved, if you can get your money and no one knows how much you got, you had to play hard, boy, it'd be unbelievable.
Do you believe that's a vet's responsibility? Because a lot of people don't feel that. It's not my job to get him, to get him ready or to give him this or to do that. I felt it was my job to help the younger players, even though I didn't really have a whole lot of guys, but some guys, when I was a wide receiver, guys like Mark Jackson, guys like Mark Vance Johnson, they helped me.
Yeah.
But I felt that in turn, it was my job to get the other tight ends when I switch positions, to get them ready. Do you feel that's a vet's obligation?
Yeah, you have to. If you don't teach him, then he shouldn't be on the squad. It'd be like, I don't know if you know anything about gang warfare. I don't. But what I do.
Who's going to make you think you do, huh?
No, but just think about it. If you were in the Army,
yes,
you would have to teach that person everything to survive and be worthy of the guy behind you, right?
Right.
The Marine mentality, So that if a young guy comes in the Marine, the older Marine's going to teach him how to be a better Marine.
Right.
Skip some of the pitfalls.
Right.
So you don't run in or fall in those pitfalls. And I think it's supposed to be. I think you teaching too enhances you. Because if you're showing somebody, like Akeem used to show people his move.
Yes.
Constant, right? The more he practices, the better
really,
he becomes.
But you got to be really secure to do that, Sally.
Yeah.
You got to be really secure.
Yeah, but you're right. We understand. There's a lot of guys in the wrong place, though, and those are not winners. I don't look at them as winners.
You guys chased the Boston Celtics for years. That big three with Parrish, Bird, McHale, they had DJ, you guys chased them for a long, long time. When you finally got over the mountain, then you had to deal with the Lakers and to get because you couldn't get to the Lakers until you got past the Celtics. And when you got past the Celtics, then you got like, damn.
And know what it was, man? If you conspiracy theorists like I am, you would. I'm telling you, some things would happen, and I would just turn around and, okay, that's the way it's going to be. Give an example. We play against the Lakers, and we got them beat. We're all in shock. We got them beat, and Isaiah looking, and we're all looking, and he grabs the ball and take it out. And out of nowhere, Larry Bird intercepts the ball and throws it to DJ. Now, there's no way in history could that too have happened in that sequence. I was like, that has to be something outside of us. I was like, what?
Well, Alexander just got careless with the ball. He was trying to get it in bounds before they can set their defense. And he was
trying to throw it to Bill because Bill was a good foul shooter, right? But guards never take the ball out. And Bill usually
Bill's normally taking the ball out. He throws it to Isaiah.
Exactly. So it was just a twist. And I was like, how does that happen? And then the next year, when we beat him, we get here and Isaiah twists his ankle. I go, out of all the times in the world to
that was in 88.
88, right? Because in 87 we can't get by.
Right.
And then in 88, we get here and we got these Lakers. Oh my God, we had them so. It was so messed up, Shannon. My brothers and I went to the Comedy Store, and I had rented a car. It was a white Mercedes-Benz. They pulled me over on La Cienega and made me get out and sit on the curb. 1988, sit on the curb until we check all the car out. He goes, oh, it's Detroit license. Kept me there. He said, yeah, we're going to keep you out here for a couple of hours. And I said, hey, curfew. Is that what? He said, what time's curfew? I mean,
why'd you put it out? Why'd you say if he keep you out a little longer, you go miss curfew? Why would you say that?
Because I didn't have curfew, but I said, well.
Oh, you was hoping you say you got curfew, so he let
curfew,
you go.
It's like 11:30.
Right.
He was like, oh, you're gonna miss curfew, and I was like, okay, so knowing he gonna keep me there to about 10 more minutes, knowing I can't get to the marina. Right. This is the crazy thing. That was the police officer loving the Lakers. It was, you had to watch where you eat. Like, it wasn't just the Lakers. It was the referees live in Ladera and live in the Valley. They ain't flying in, they driving to work. So I had to play against the Lakers, the police officers, and I was like, this is just too much. It was too much. But then when we finally got him, which is another thing I thought, Byron Scott mess up his hamstring, Magic mess up his hamstring. I mean, I started walking soft. I was stretching my hamstring extra.
When you guys finally got over the mountaintop, did you realize what you had done, that you basically had ended the Celtics' big three? You guys ended it. Did you know you guys were doing that? Did you know they weren't going to be what they were ever again?
No. This is how scary this was. After we won the championship, I remember we came back, getting off the plane, it's whatever. I went to practice the next day. There was about 5 of us there, Shannon. We forgot we won the championship. Like, we showed up to go to work. Hey, what you doing here, Sal? I was like, oh, I just couldn't get something out of my locker. Well, Sally, nothing in your locker. That I was so still in my brain, I have to go to practice tomorrow. This is the regiment. This is, even winning, it didn't feel real to me. It didn't feel done. So when we knew we were top, because think about it, they were older, right?
And going to the finals every year, and going to the Eastern Conference Finals and going to the NBA Finals every single year.
Now, when I was going to be a Celtic, right? They told me, Red told me he was going to draft me. I would come out, I would go to camp there. I just knew I was gonna be a Celtic. And I would be in the locker room and Larry would talk to me. And he'd be in ice up to here, ice on the shoulders, ice on his neck, ice around his back. And he is sitting there like frozen, talking, giving a part interview. And I'm coming out of, in college, only thing I have ice is in my Gatorade. I don't,
Right.
You don't do all
when
that.
You're young, you don't think of like, nah, man, what you got all that ice on for?
Oh,
But then about 3 or 4 years in, you realize like,
I looked at an ice plunge bathtub yesterday.
I did
just to be out there. So what are you gonna give him the hot? I would sit in that cold water all day right now.
how different, rest his soul, how different would the Celtics have been if Len Bias had lived?
Yeah, that was my man.
Because you played against him in college, right?
Yeah, I've been with Len since we were 15. Me, Johnny Dawkins, and Lenny Bias were all gonna go to the same school.
Okay.
Instead, we all went to the same conference.
Because Johnny went to Duke, you went to Tech, he went to Maryland.
And this is why, because we were all gonna go to Maryland.
Okay.
But Lefty Driesell really only wanted Lenny.
Okay.
He was like, y'all ain't as good as the guys I got around here.
Right.
And told me I was gonna have to go behind him. And Johnny wanted to start and I wanted to start.
Right.
So those are promises. Lenny was literally the business. And they said what would have happened with him coming in against Michael. It's funny, it would have been different. But then I started paying attention. Where was Lenny gonna play on the Celtics? That once I got to that part and started seeing it, DJ, it was already Cornbread and McHale going up, so that's power forward.
Right.
Larry's playing small forward, and he refuses to take any time off. It was just it would have been a hard transition. But
They couldn't put Lenny at the 2?
Yeah. But I'm telling you, he was unbelievable.
Being from the South and seeing the ACC conference all the time, you know he was the real deal.
We were at camp. It was a guy named Billy Thompson played for the Lakers too. He was the number
with the
one,
Louisville.
Yeah, number 1 pick. And we in camp, 5-star basketball camp. And then I come to Lenny. I said he got cut. I said, man, what happened? They said you had to go into town. He said, I took Billy Thompson to town first. Like he said, gave him numbers, and then he hit me in the side of my head, so I had to get stitches. He's like, number 1 pick. Like that's all he had in his brain.
Right.
Yeah, he was in touch. He was a good brother, man. Good brother.
So you talk about the Bad Boy Pistons and how you guys played Michael. And they wrote a book, Stan Smith wrote a book, and I guess he got some commentary from you and some of the other Pistons. What was Chuck Daly, rest his soul, what was his philosophy? How did you this, what, is not doing this today against us?
Oh, well, that was Joe. Joe Dumas was the but with Chuck and Isaiah and Bill and Joe Dumas and them, they would just sit around, and Chuck's assistant, Ronnie Rothstein, at one time, Coach Malone, and Carl Malone, and Brendan Surr, they just figured if you watch enough film, he passed about 1% more than Kobe. And we know Kobe didn't pass. So we knew that if he started going downhill toward the basket, he was not going to find an open man.
Right.
He's not going to, because he didn't trust him.
Right.
So if he's dribbling with his left hand, keep him dribbling.
Keep him going that way.
And then as soon as he puts his right hand on it, Joe gets back in front of him. Everybody get back to your man. And if he can shoot over Joe, good. But it was that mentality. Everybody thought we were supposed to hit him. We wasn't supposed to hit him. The deal is inside the lane, when men played in the NBA, you
when men play. Oh, they don't play that style of ball anymore?
Oh, no. It's detrimental to the broadcast. But when you run into that situation, when somebody comes in the lane, everybody knew you got hit when you went in the lane.
Yes.
That was just the way the game was played. And really the Celtics were the dirty ones. We were not dirty. They called us bad boys, but
Y'all were dirty.
I don't think so.
Y'all, Sal, y'all were dirty. I mean, the way y'all did, come on, man. Man, Bird going for and Lambeer had no intentions whatsoever blocking the shot. The man went up and he come down on the man's head.
I know this is a podcast, so we can't afford the footage, but listen, if you see he goes up, Dennis Rodman's leg gets caught, and he's falling, which pulls Larry down, which pulls Bill down, and Bill thought Larry thought Bill had done that. And think about it, he punches him 2 times in the face and throws a ball at him, and the ref goes, Larry, here's another ball. Throw another ball at him. You know what I'm saying? It's playing against him and Magic, you had too many people. But I think they were the bad ones. And this is the deal. You look at the muscles, right? I played against football players.
Oh, yeah.
All the time, because they thought, yeah, we play basketball, stay in shape, and we're going to run your skinny ass over. So I didn't see it the way everybody else. You get out of the way of people trying to do that. You
Right.
use your athleticism.
There is much has been made. I don't care what anybody says. Isaiah Thomas should have been on that 92 Dream Team.
I say so too, but where?
Stockton! Stop!
Listen, you talking to the #1 Isaiah defender. I think I lost jobs defending Isaiah. Shoot.
Oh, look, when you guys, like, okay, all the time that you guys had beaten Michael was gracious enough in defeat to shake everybody's hand. But what I told people, it wasn't Isaiah that started. It was the Celtics.
That's right.
That actually did not shake you guys' hand when you finally beat them. They left the court. Go back and look at that footage.
Yeah, but they don't. This once again, no one wants to hear the truth. Like the truth.
I wanted them to remember. I saw it.
The truth messes up the story. So I tell you this though, I knew it was a bad idea. But Bill Lambert said, hey, let's hand it to them like they handed it us. And I got to give it to Bill. That's the way it had to be. And you know what? I'm on a team chat with the Pistons. Not really any other players, because we still had this, like, you know, we ride together, we die together type thing.
Do you believe that's the reason why Isaiah wasn't on the Dream Team, was because he didn't shake Scotty and Michael and the guys' hands in that? Because they keep saying, well, it wasn't Michael. It seemed to me in that fall call that Michael made it abundantly clear, yeah, I'm going to play, but such and such can't play.
But Michael didn't say it. Remember, I think in Magic's documentary, he said he had something, he did it. I tell you this.
Why would Magic do that? Magic is best boy.
No, I didn't. All of it was total misunderstanding. And I know Michael didn't say it. And this is why. Everybody loves Isaiah's game.
Right.
Everybody. So I don't think that they were plays. I think Magic was talking about when he and Isaiah wasn't talking and that kind of thing. I don't know if that was the idea. And if they could use that Larry Bird, Magic, Isaiah thing, they could. But let me tell you, I've looked at the squad. Isaiah would have outshined. He was short. He had the smile. He was going to have the ball 90% of the time.
He was ahead of his time as far as handling the rock.
Right. He was going to have, and the NBA had to sell the new team. They had the new team was Karl Malone and John Stockton, to the point where, God rest his soul, David Stern didn't. When we won our second championship, Rod Thorne gave us our rings because David had to be in China with Utah Jazz.
Right.
Like it was bigger than what we knew.
Right.
It was about selling
growing the game.
And I think that's why they did it that way.
You were the glue guy on a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Kept the locker room together. You kept the locker room loose. Role players are very, very important. Obviously, the stars get all the credit, rightfully so. Yeah. They do the lion's share of the lifting. They get lion's share of the blame when things doesn't go well. They get lion's share of the credit when things do go well. But it's the guys like yourself. I was a little bit.
You was a star.
I was a little, but I was a guy that kept the things going. I was a gatekeeper. I was the guy that kept the guys loose, kept the guys laughing, but made sure everybody was where they're supposed to be and how they were supposed to do it. How important do you think your role was in the success that you had on every team? Detroit, Chicago, LA.
Oh, it was.
Don't oversell it now.
Priceless.
Don't oversell it. Don't oversell it.
The reason I tell you it was priceless is, I didn't know what mental health was.
Right.
I just thought I was crazy.
Right.
And adventurous. And so I had guys like Willie Burton, who is now a part of the NBA Player Association, retired players, mental health situation.
Right.
I had Glenn Rice, who from Flint, Michigan, was so laid back and pulled back, and we would go to the movies, because he didn't want to be around no girls. He was married with kids, and he wanted to go to movies. We go to the movies. Do you know we in Houston? Do you know what goes on in Houston? So I was around some guys and I got it. I remember Devin George had come in, and he's older than Kobe. Yeah. He's Kobe's rookie. And, I was like, hey, I got to do something with you. Yeah, and I took him to a place and we got a facial. And he was like, what? Yeah, well, those black bumps are not freckles. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's teaching things you have to do to bring guys in. There's times where, hey, yo, man, let's go to the movies. 7 of us.
Right.
Not the strip joint. Let's go eat. 9 of us, which is never a pro team going to eat, and laughing and giggling and going. Like, when I was on the Lakers, we won 19 straight. And then we tried again, and we were doing yoga on Wednesdays. And like, just being around people and caring for that person, knowing that, what they said in A Few Good Men, would you put your life on the line and expect him to do the same for you? That takes something. You're gonna be the star gets all of the credit and all of the blame.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He gets to take the last shot. Thank God. Because if you take the last shot, they'd be like, why you didn't throw the ball to him? Right. So they have the brunt of all of the weight of everything. So somebody got to be able to help them out. You have to have a Robin to Batman.
How were you able to get How were you able to audition for Bad Boys? And I heard you only received $700.
I got less. I didn't even audition. I went in. I pissed Martin off because he was in town. He was in Miami, and he introduced me to his new fiance. And I was like, "Hey, how you doing? Oh, she fine. Yeah, she's fine. You got a prenup?" Martin was mad. We get up and we walk in the set.
He swung on you?
No, he's like, man, why you do that in front of my girl and all my friends? Like, what you doing? Man, you Sal, man, you gotta get a filter. And I was like, get a filter? Like,
you better get a prenup.
And he did, and he thanked me. So I get in, and he's mad at me. And I'm like, oh, sorry, man, but you know how I am, man. She'll be okay, get a prenup. And I went upstairs, and Michael Bay had directed my Nike commercial.
Right.
I heard him yelling and screaming. And he asked me, was I SAG? And I was like, yeah, I SAG, whatever that is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I had literally was a part of SAG because I did commercials in Detroit with Chrysler, but I didn't know what that was.
Right.
So he gets me in, and then it's $476. And I don't even get it because it goes to my SAG dues.
Right.
But I was just happy to be in a movie. I had been prepared my whole life to be an actor.
That your first movie you were in?
First movie. But my whole life, I was preparing to be an actor.
Right.
I kept saying, my daughter, Taya, who's 19.
Why the hell you go to tech if you want to be an actor? Why not go
I wanted to be a doctor.
Did you actually know what you wanted to be when you grew up? Which one of your personality? Okay, one personality wanted to be a doctor.
I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
And then I went into the hospital. But it was funny. One job Mark Price and I had one summer was to go and make sure that this cabin, that this huge cabin that this guy had was okay.
Right.
That was our job.
Right.
In other words, go hang out for the weekend.
Right.
And he was a radiologist. And I go, what do you do? And he goes, X-rays and MRIs and we got radiology and all that different machine. How much you make? Oh, I make $2,000 an hour. This is 1984. So I automatically wanted to be.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's my job.
You got a house like this and you're not an athlete. Yeah, that's me.
That's exactly what I said. Like, I'm coming to your joint. So I wanted to do that, but then I went to Georgia Tech in business, and then I went into architecture at Georgia Tech. Then I got out of that, finished the business degree, and I'm constantly learning, bro. I was in Egypt for 11 days. I'm about to go to Belize for 11 days. I was in Costa Rica for 28 days.
I mean, when these places, so what are you doing? Is there like a retreat? Are you like holistic? I mean, what are you finding who John Salley is?
Oh, it's a traveling. I see. I was going to do a joke.
I was going to say you a traveling circus.
No, I literally go to find out truth. It's like, so I'm a certified health coach, vegan. I can prescribe or literally know what herbs work on certain parts of your body. I do yoga. I breathe. I understand things. I'm connected.
I hope you breathe in the
yeah, man.
hands out here. I don't know CPR.
Yeah, but I literally try to extend my life. That's, if you ask me what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to extend my life.
How long you want to live?
My mother lived to 96, and I just went to a funeral of a friend, Jackie, who lived to 98. My uncle just turned 94 a couple of weeks ago.
Why you want to live that long?
Just so I can outlive it.
You want to be brag? You want bragging rights? I live longer than him.
I live like, when I get back, and then when I get to the other side, they be like, "You stupid boy, we was over here chilling with all these girls." I don't know, man. I think I wanna. I love life, and I went to Sri Lanka. I told my daughter this in 2017. I was in St. Martin, and she and I were sitting on the patio, looking at this beautiful place, smoking a doobie of Deuces 22. And I said, you're never gonna see this again, because they said the hurricane was coming. I said, they don't realize, I said, this is gonna be really big. We on the last flight out of St. Martin before it destroys the place. And then she and I go to Sri Lanka, and we're there for 11 days, and I'm thinking, this is way better than when I was visiting India. Now you can't go to Sri Lanka. So life is fleeting, bro.
Right.
And I just I love it, and I try to keep it going.
You lucky, Martin didn't do you like Will Smith did Chris Rock when you talked about getting the prenup. That'd been really bad.
I know. Really I would. It's so funny when I watched you and you said you wish he would have hit you.
Yeah.
You would have responded.
Man, at what place, at what have you ever been? A black man can slap another black man and you just like, and carry over.
I don't even want to answer that, but I feel Chris did the complete right thing.
Yeah, Chris did.
Chris did.
Not me. I'm gonna do the wrong thing. I'm gonna whip his ass.
I know, but then, he had on his good shoes. You miss one slip, then you embarrass yourself.
But that probably, look, I get people go through a lot of things, and he probably got a lot of stuff on his mind and stuff like that. I get it. We all got stuff. That, man, hey.
Shannon, if he would have hit you, you would have known. You would have been able to grab him and said, bruh.
Well, first of all, when you say here's the thing, Sally,
Don't lean forward when somebody walking up on you.
No. If you making a joke and you see somebody get up and walk from a distance and they start, I'm already thinking, okay.
He gonna hit me.
So now.
There's no other thing. He ain't gonna whisper in my ear.
Nah. But you let the man walk up on you.
We just said that.
If anybody walk up on you, you deserve
That's why Poole got a big eye right now. Poole, I don't know you, but Shannon's making me make those jokes.
You acted with Whoopi Goldberg. She got a movie coming out, Till, about the Emmett Till story. Kevin Hart, Sanaa Lathan. Who haven't you worked with that you would like to work with?
Shaquille.
Shaq.
I think it'll be funny.
Yeah.
I think us two big, tall people.
Right.
I did a movie called The Ultimate Christmas Present when I was a 7-foot elf, and I thought it was funny.
Right.
And I think because, I just think it would be a funny thing. If it was one actor I could work with, it would be The Rock or Kevin Hart, because they get movies made.
Right.
And to the point where The Rock gets a movie, I think he got 4 movies a year for the next 5 years. Like, this cat gets movies made. When they say, hey, this is what we're gonna do, and they sign off, they make that movie.
Right.
So that's somebody I would love.
Is it then? I mean, to have that kind of workload?
Yeah, it's busy, but if that's what you want to do, like I've never ever had practice. Everybody was like, "Man, you went to practice?" I never had practice.
Right.
I was going to do that whether I was at practice or not. I was going to play and try to dog somebody. So I love doing what I do. I've never had it.
You're great friends with Eddie Murphy, Mike Tyson.
I used to hang when I came out here with Eddie.
What's Eddie like? Because he seemed like he real quiet. He real like.
He's so funny.
Yeah.
He's funny. Yeah. He's quiet and it's funny. You do something.
Is he like that? I know what he's like on stage. I know what he's like on camera. But sometimes when people are off camera, they're not on stage. They're not like what they are on stage or on camera. How is he when he's Eddie Murphy, but there's no cameras around, just him hanging out at home?
Oh, he was calm, laid back. I took Isaiah to his house, right? So I said, yo, you got to come over here and meet Eddie, man. So me and Billy Diamond. So it was the first time I meet Heavy D. Heavy D and I became best friends instantly.
Right.
And so Heavy's over there and he looks at and Eddie goes, "You're not that much taller than me." He goes, "Come on." And he puts chest and Isaiah looked at me and go ahead. Eddie beats him in 3 moves. Isaiah looks at me. I said, "Man, you better cut that out." Put him back. And now Isaiah gets to his competitive way he is. He said, "What else? I ain't gonna play in basketball. I got a bowling alley. Let's go. I got a pool. I got a pool table. Let's go. You got dice." Isaiah was on it constantly. Like, I ain't letting you beat me, bro. So that was, if they would have had paper and pen, it would have been tic-tac-toe.
Right.
I love that about Eddie. And then Mike, man, Mike was so deep younger when he wasn't doing drugs and he was being pulled by all these different people.
Right.
He was so young, it was so happening. But life is, like I said, it was moving so fast. You wake up, you in it. You wake up, you still in it. You wake up, you in it. So, but Mike has become an unbelievable philosopher. I went to see him in prison.
Did you?
Yeah, I was one of the people who went to see him in prison. I'm gonna give CJ the picture so you can see it.
How did a kid from New York end up in Atlanta at Georgia Tech?
All right, very simple. One, I had the grades. Let you know that, player. I did. I visit.
You went to visit Atlanta?
I visit. I get on the plane.
Okay.
The Atlanta Hawks get on. They in first class. And, I'm like anybody. I'm just staring at them. They get on the plane. I wear number 20. I want to wear number 22. John Drew's right there. He don't even know that I know who he is. He ain't even carrying his bag. Some rookie's carrying his bag. I'm like, oh, that's pimp. I get off. It was a black flight attendant. A guy with a red jacket met me.
Red
He
coat.
was black. We get downstairs. The coach picked me up, Coach Felton. He's white. The guy that grabbed my bag is black. I get out to he's black. I get to the hotel downtown. The lady behind the cash register, big, beautiful place is black. I get upstairs, call my mother. I said, I'm going to Georgia Tech. She goes, how's the school? I said, I don't know, but black people got jobs. That's how I ended up. And then they told me it was 17 women to every one man and 25 women to every one straight man.
So you straight.
You were hell. And I went straight to Spelman, straight to AU Center, straight to the club, straight to Magic City. I was straight.
What was your favorite thing about Atlanta? What was your favorite thing? I mean, because New York is so different than Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta's grown so much, but it's the South.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about Atlanta? What's your favorite thing about the South?
It's the Southern swag, man. I when I got there, I was part of that New York New Wave, 1982.
Right.
So I'm walking with a Kango and a big nameplate with a chip tooth, Pumas on. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop is 9 years old when I get there.
Right.
You understand? So I'm part of that New York wave that hit Atlanta and started going to school at that joint. I'm with Spike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We are loving the simplicity, and I think it's the cicada bugs. Because if you've never heard them, Once you go to Atlanta, you can't not hear them. And then if you leave, you look for them.
Right.
So I think it's that rhythm in Atlanta, and they just keep getting finer and women, that is, finer and finer and finer every year. I think that's what it is in Atlanta.
Dang, the BBL, they just get fine. Okay. That's it. What was your when you got your money? What was the first thing you bought?
I didn't get the money. I did the worst deal. I didn't get a signing bonus.
Who's your agent? You?
I know, David Folk. And this is weird. It's weird that he, out of all, when I look back at it, I didn't get a signing bonus. And I think about that. He goes, you don't want to own. Oh, I didn't know what it was. What it was is they did a deal because Adrian Dantley was now going to be in the Pistons.
Right.
And all that money went to AD and didn't give me a signing bonus. So I was a sacrificial lamb. They got, hey, we got this rookie and you can take AD in on this piece.
Right. What's the best and the worst purchase you made in your playing? You didn't buy a Mercedes because you didn't.
No, I got a BMW, black man's wish. I love my BMW too. But
you still got it?
No, it was an L7. It was a brand new interior to it too. It was dope. But none of those things were smart or good to me. That's a AP or Patek Philippe?
AP.
Okay. Vinnie Johnson had a Patek Philippe. It was $7,200, and I could not believe in 1986 you pay $72 just to tell time what the watch is worth now.
Probably $1 million.
You understand what I'm saying? So none of that, those things. I think the best thing I purchased was a home for my mother and father.
Right.
And I got my mom the house and my dad a Lincoln. My favorite thing I've ever given him. He had this light blue Lincoln. It was half with the blue leather on the top, dark blue, sunroof. They had to cut it in, redo it. These cushioned seats.
Yeah, that crushed velvet.
You know, I had him spokes. I had him put the curb finders on it.
Yeah.
Man, when my brother showed up, he just kept looking at it. He says, yeah, Johnny said this for you. He drove it from Detroit. He called me, he said, boy, I love you, man. He said, my brother was like, yeah. He's like, all right, give me the keys. And I don't think they saw him for 3 days. that was my favorite purchase was getting my father his Lincoln.
If Adam Silver asked you to come back and says, I want you to talk to the players about some of the pitfalls that could possibly happen to an NBA player as far as women, finances, things of that nature, what are some of the things that you would tell today's players?
I offer it. Because I went one time when they do the rookie
symposium.
It's not good because it became sponsored. So you can't tell them the truth.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They don't want the truth.
Right.
They want the spot. They don't want the truth. I would bring in, it sounds funny, I would bring in girls who lived the life, who were on that side of tricking players and all that. And then I would literally bring in insurance people to explain how money works. That's it. If I would have I have a cool guy named Darryl Cohen. Darryl Cohen looked out for me and been looking at me since 2002. If you don't have one of those cats, like I don't think Kareem had one, but Wilt Chamberlain had 3. Wilt Chamberlain had 3 guys that would die on the soil for him. Is why he was in a good position. And it's kind of hard, man. Somebody said, if I go to college, what are you going to major in? I said finance. That's the only reason you should get only degree.
Eligibility.
Well, remember, I was smart.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't that. I just have a photographic memory. So I remember what I saw. I never missed class either.
I'm looking at one of your original investments. You were one of the original investors in Beyond Meat.
Shh, don't be telling my business.
And you invested back in 2009?
Don't be knowing. If I could have, and let me tell you.
You wish you had invested more.
Not only that, there was this dude that had Nas was knowing about Uber, and man, this motto put me on, I almost said her name. This motto in Toronto put me on Uber. And she goes, you hear about this? And I go, no. And she goes, watch this. And she picked up her phone and boom, boom, boom. And we were sitting around and we're eating and she goes, doo-doo-doo. Oh, here, they're here. I said, what do you mean? She goes, oh, this is called Uber and it's better than a taxi. And it's this and it's this and it's this. I didn't know about investing in it,
right.
But they let Nas know.
Right.
Kevin Durant supposedly is worth $1 billion. Like this dude he was invested in Postmates. I have an app called Do You Tip. The letter Do, the letter U, tip. And the reason I did that is I started paying attention to where the world is going. I bank at a famous celebrity bank in Encino. They're not paying me, so I don't say their name. Yeah. If you want sponsorship, you know where to go to. And for 14 years, I've been going to this bank.
Right.
And I always see this wonderful lady from Venezuela. She got long hair. I always tell her how beautiful her hair is. Oh, mommy, you looking great today. Thank you, mommy. The other day I pulled up and it was a machine. Then it hit me. In 2002, I was in Portofino, and in Italy. And I rent a car. I go up to the thing and there's nobody to hand my money to.
Right.
And I got the ticket. They're blowing me, calling me names, all kind of stuff in Italian. You have to go back, put your card in, take your credit card, pay, and then come back and leave. Me saying that to you now is like, yeah, that's how you do it. But in 2002, that's not how we've done it in America. So when I played in Greece in 1996, I had an Eckerson phone. If I was thirsty and went to a Coca-Cola machine, I would point it at it and push 0, and I would get a drink. So I think technology is moving. I'm with a company now called IKIN, I-K-I-N. And he's figured out how to literally make a hologram. He figured out how to bend light. We've been trying to bend light since the beginning of time.
Right.
I just now look at things that I say, what are we gonna need? Everything is going digital.
Mm-hmm.
So last night I was at a Swan Bitcoin event. Swan is a place you take Bitcoin money into. I wound up getting a Blue Moon wallet because it's happening. Your money is going to be crypto. It's happening.
Right.
Whether people want it to or not, it's happening. So it's kind of like integration. They didn't want it to happen, but it happened. No matter how much you boo and whatever, you got to get your football team to win. Integration has to happen.
Right.
Anyway. That was for myself and those who know history. So all I do is look at technology. Where's it going? How's it going? How do I get in from the beginning of it? Don't worry, I got you, Shannon. I'm gonna have you, man. I'm gonna have you. So
you have me. I would be straight. I want to go to Portofino. I
Yes.
want to travel.
You do, and let me tell you.
I ain't got the money to travel. I got the money to go down to Encino, or go to what's that?
Do it the way I do it. Get invited.
Yeah, but I don't know nobody that's inviting.
Oh shoot, Shannon, you
Santa Barbara. I got Santa Barbara money.
It's too cold for me.
That's the kind of money I got. Malibu. I got money to go to Malibu. I ain't got the money to go to the Montana.
I used to have money to go to Malibu.
Montego Bay.
Hey, have you ever been to Avi's in Malibu?
No.
Okay, so you've been to a Nobu.
No.
Say word. You never been to Nobu?
I've never been to Nobu.
You lying right now. Your nose is big, but it's getting bigger.
I've never been to Nobu.
Really?
No.
Okay. Above it is this bar lounge called Avi.
I got South Beverly Grill money. I ain't got Nobu money. I got Nobu. When she said, "Can we go there, Nobu?" That's what I be saying.
Oh my God! I go in there and just laugh, and I go, man, I couldn't afford her injections.
Yeah.
Let alone breast. Like you got $40,000 breast right there. Ooh, can't afford it.
Now see, that's why I say I can't go there.
Yeah, too bad for you.
Salley.
I
appreciate it, bro.
You. Keep representing us and making us look good.
Thank you.
Definitely.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why all my life I've been grinding all my life, look, all my life, been grinding all my life, sacrifice, hustle paid the price, want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why all my life I've been grinding all my life.